morning, babies. We're going to do some tarot. And just so you know, when I call you baby, it's really just calling you baby, but then plural. So it has nothing to do with being young or immature or helpless or any of that. It's really just a term of endearment. And it just started coming out of my mouth and I just rolled with it. So anyway, we got the Three of Swords coming out first. Spirit, what do we need to know? What does this beautiful collective need to know about this month of April? Eclipse season, Mercury retrograde, transition into a new season. Okay, we got the Four of Cups and the Nine of Wands. So what I'm really feeling here is that a lot of you guys are coming out of some major heartbreak with the Three of, these are all a little different. They're called voices instead of swords, but the Three of Swords is about heartbreak. And the Nine of Wands is about being a wounded warrior, about having been through a lot, overcome a lot. And so some of you guys are turning down with the Four of Cups the things that are trying to come in for you because you don't understand that it's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life. None of the past is going to come back in. Okay, you got the Seven of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands all in reverse, okay? So let's see here. Some of you guys might have felt like you didn't have enough options. Like you've been, you haven't been believing in your dreams because you haven't been seeing options in your life. The Queen of Pentacles just speaks to not having that stability in reverse, not feeling like you had that financial support. And the Ace of Wands in reverse is about maybe blocking your connection to spirit, maybe blocking your inspiration, your creativity. But most importantly, interesting. I was going to say, most importantly, blocking a new beginning that's trying to come in for you. Mostly because you're too busy sending it back because you think it's going to be more of the same in this wounded warrior and this heartbreak. So open your mind and recognize that this is a new era. All right, Knight of Wands, Seven of Pentacles again. Did that come out? Yeah, Seven of Pentacles is about looking at, okay, so I'm so sorry. I said anyway, this deck confuses me. I'm not gonna lie. I'm still getting used to it. So if I misspeak, my apologies. That was the Seven of Pentacles, which meant that you've been looking at your work and you haven't been feeling like it's been paying off. Apologies for that. I don't believe in coincidences though, so I think that other message still stands. But anyway, here's the Seven of Pentacles again, telling you, or this is the Eight. Oh my gosh, brain. Start working, please. The Eight of Pentacles is saying that you are seeing progression, you are seeing your work pay off. It's just happening a little slower than you had wanted, but things are about to pick up pace, especially as you allow your inspiration to take the lead and kind of gallop forward without unencumbered, I'm hearing, unencumbered galloping forward. Yeah, dude, are you kidding me? The Eight of Wands is all about fast movement, really quick communication, quick progress. And the Nine of Wands again underneath that. So you have a lot of repeat cards. This is the Wounded Warrior card. All right, just feeling kind of like beat up, battered, bruised. Ace of Swords underneath that, which we've already, no, we got the Ace of Wands. But now we have the Ace of Swords, which is about clarity, truth, like enlightenment after a period of feeling like you didn't have the answers, like you didn't know what was going on. And the Six of Pentacles, things are being balanced out, okay? This period of Six of Wands in reverse with the Eight of Wands in reverse, another Ace of Wands, excuse me. This period of feeling like you haven't been celebrated, like your new beginning hasn't started yet, like you don't, yeah, like the work you're putting in is not being recognized. All my cards are falling on the ground right now. I'm gonna pick a new deck. So you're about to be celebrated. I really feel like the reason why there's so much confusion in this reading so far is because a lot of you guys are confused about your own life and you don't know, you just don't trust this moment. And I'm hearing you don't trust yourself. Spirit needs you to trust yourself and this moment and move forward with, you know, courage and conviction. The excuses have got to go for those of you that are too busy making excuses to invite in this new life. Because your blessings are about to come in. Yeah, the World and the Two of Cups, both in reverse. I'm turning these both upright because, as I say sometimes, I really feel like reversals are just potential. So there's those of you that are turning down this potential, but this is for those of you that are moving forward, or this is calling you toward that version of you. The World is a graduation card. It's a celebration card. It's about breaking through to the other side. Okay, the Two of Cups is about love, divine union. It's about balance with yourself, divine union with God, with your higher self, with your inner child. So clearly this new beginning is taking you places that you've been wanting to go. That's what I'm hearing. This celebration of your, this victory, okay, this is 555 on my timer. Thank you, Spirit. I woke up at 3:33 in the morning as well this morning. So this is powerful energy, okay? You are about to be celebrated. I'm seeing this as a torch now. Spirit's handing you a torch and saying, go share what you came here to share. You know, we could spend our whole lives, I said this in a reading the other day, I feel like it's important to repeat. We could spend our entire lives hiding out of fear. We could spend our entire lives after being hurt, trying not to get hurt, trying so hard not to get hurt that we kind of stop living. We stop living in the moment, we stop enjoying ourselves, we stop having faith in our lives, in our path. That is not what is being asked of you right now. So please consider a new path. Please consider, Spirit really wants you to reconsider. Yeah, the Justice card in reverse is coming through. The Knight of Swords. So things are trying to move quickly in your favor after a period of stagnancy, but there's some part of you blocking this justice moment because you don't trust, I'm hearing you don't trust anyone or anything, not even yourself, not even your guides, not even God, whatever you believe in. All right, Spirit really needs you to step away from this, because I'm also seeing, this is kind of an unconventional depiction of this card, but I'm really feeling like this is you kind of fighting off this blessing that's trying to come in and saying, no, get away from me. And yes, it looks evil. It does look evil, I'll give you that, but it's not evil. It only resembles something evil in this case because it's, I feel like you're releasing a lot of old patterns and energies. Personally, I'm back in a town, or at least near a town that I grew up in, and there's so many integration memories happening, so many visions all day long lately. I'm just like in another world, seeing into other dimensions, seeing into future memories, past memories, integrating pieces of myself from my childhood. And I know, and some of them aren't very fun to relive. You know what I mean? Most of them aren't, because my childhood wasn't a fun time. I don't really even have a fun memory that I can go back to. But the point is, you're being asked to separate yourself from where you've been and recognize that where you're heading is so much more peaceful and more aligned for you. Page of Wands and Two of Pentacles. So more creativity, more opportunities to express yourself, to move passionately. And you're going to have a lot of things that you're juggling, but you are ready to juggle all of this, I'm hearing. You don't need to hide anymore. My goodness, my fingers. I don't know what's going on with me lately, but like I said, I do feel like I'm just not completely on this planet anymore. It gets harder and harder for me to communicate with humans. And, you know, I find myself just more inclined to spend time in nature, even if it just means sitting in this beautiful backyard and looking up at the sky and spending time with the trees and the birds and the bees. So if you're feeling a little bit disconnected right now, it's just because you're supposed to do some internal work. So don't get freaked out. Do the internal work, and then you can come back out into the world when you're ready. All right, King of Swords. It did come out in reverse for some of you. I just feel like you need to cut out what doesn't serve. You need to cut out what doesn't serve you and allow this temperance to come in, this balance. Okay, I see this kind of like the Justice card. Giving yourself space to allow newness in, to allow something, something different. Yeah, the Ten of Wands in reverse with the Four of Pentacles. So the Ten of Wands in reverse is about the end of a cycle. It's pretty much the same meaning either way for me. It's just that it's a period of time that's coming to an end that's been really fucking hard. And it has really put you in a place of feeling like you need to protect everything you have and hoard things for a rainy day. But you don't need to live out of fear right now. You got the Knight of Cups and the King of Pentacles. You have a lot of abundance coming in. Okay, underneath that is the King of Wands in reverse, but you just need to step into your power. Okay, step into your power and recognize that you have a lot more control and power in this moment than you realize. Everything you've been through has been leading you to this moment. This is you. And this bird on your head, I'm seeing, it's kind of like a spirit guide, or your connection to spirit, you know what I mean? And not literally a bird is your connection to spirit, but this is you feeling connected, feeling grounded in your power, and also in your potential to create abundance. Excuse me. You are creating a massive amount of abundance right now. But you have to stop holding on to what you have as if you're never ever going to get anything again. Because when we come forward with that type of energy, we kind of block ourselves. Okay? You got the Five of Pentacles in reverse, and the Five of Swords. These are both talking about past energies, being left out in the cold, you know, just chaos, conflict. And then the Knight of Cups and the Nine of Swords. So you have some emotional offers coming in. And even if it's just from the universe, handing you something that's going to make you very happy, emotionally fulfilled. But this, some of you guys might be blocked by this sense of defeat internally. You know, I'm hearing anxiety, sleepless nights. So don't allow, most importantly right now, yeah, the Ten of Swords is just sitting on top of this other deck. It kind of fell apart and I set it over there, you know, just, anyway. Point is, this is what you're coming out of. So I don't blame you at all for feeling overwhelmed, for feeling tired, for feeling beat up. Just don't drag it into this next phase with you. Okay, Spirit just gave me an analogy. So pretend you were getting married, okay? And you'd already been married before. And this isn't for everyone. Not everybody believes in marriage, etc. But this is just the example the Spirit gave me. You're getting married and you know, it's like you could spend your time on the day of your wedding and the whole period of your wedding, your marriage, conjuring up ways in which you could sabotage it by creating scenarios that are just like what you came out of, because maybe your last marriage was terrible. Is that a smart way to start a new beginning? No. It's really not. It's the same thing with a business. You know, if you had a failed business and you started a new business kind of expecting the same result, do you think you would succeed? No, you wouldn't. Because you wouldn't truly believe that you were capable of succeeding. And Spirit really needs you to know that you are capable of succeeding. The Four of Wands underneath the deck. And it was in reverse, but I feel like it's just because some of you guys this is a marriage card, ironically. Some of you guys just aren't prepared to celebrate. You don't know that you're worthy of celebrating. I said this in my video yesterday. Growing up in poverty, growing up in a toxic household with a lot of abuse, verbally and physically, from more than one person in my home, I just learned that, you know, life wasn't safe. But I also learned, you know, to be plucky, I had strength. I got my ass kicked enough in life that I kind of came out, you know, strong. But that doesn't mean that it's been easy, and that doesn't mean that I knew that I was worth the good things when they came. I still kind of wore that old heaviness around with me without even realizing, and ultimately sabotaged a lot of things in my life because I didn't know how to receive good things. I didn't know that I was deserving of them. So some of you guys just might not realize that you have a lot of options and you are worthy of them. Just because your past has been tricky or painful or heartbreaking doesn't mean that that's going to follow you into this next phase. And Spirit really wants you to dream about, in the original tarot, these are all in the sky, and they represent just different options that somebody's dreaming of. Spirit wants you to get to dreaming and leave the past in the past. You don't have to carry it with you. Okay, Page of Cups again. You already got this once. So you're inviting in some emotional offer. Pigs, when pigs fly, this also represents dreaming things into being, you know, creating some kind of reality that you didn't think was possible at a certain point in your life. But it is with the Magician and the Moon, the Six of Swords and the Knight of Wands. You're coming out of a really hard period of time, okay? I can't say it enough. This has been a really tough period of time for you, and I just want you to know that it's over. It's time for you to celebrate. It's time for you to express yourself. It's time for you to move with passion. Sorry about that. And let Spirit take you somewhere safer, okay? Somewhere safer where you are going to be, you're not going to have to stare at your fears anymore. You're not going to have to be underwater, kind of drowning in them anymore. This card represents, you know, just being deep in your emotions, looking at your fears, facing them. You are in the driver's seat. What you think, what you put out is actually creating your reality. So be really mindful. If you're sitting around thinking about how things are going wrong, you're actually creating that into being. If you sit around and think about how things are going to go right, and you allow room in your heart, especially to feel that, like what would it feel like if things went right? How would you feel? Just decide to feel that way now. It's kind of like imagining yourself, you know, crossing the finish line. If you're a track runner, you want to win, you know, you want to win, you picture yourself winning. You don't picture yourself losing, because that's like a defeatist way of, it's a self-sabotage. It's a way of not having to live up to your fullest potential. It's a self-sabotaging way of basically giving yourself an out for people that don't believe in themselves. It's like, okay, cool. Well, you know, I'll just imagine, and this is all subconscious, mind you. A lot of you guys might not understand what I'm saying because it's a subconscious thing that you're doing. It's kind of like I do this, okay? Or at least I used to. It's been so long since I've met someone I was interested in and dated them. But back in the day when I would meet someone I was interested in, my ego mind would play out the whole scenario until the end of that relationship. It's almost like, of course it was a fictitious scenario. It had no basis in reality. But my ego wanted to play it all out so that I knew exactly what was going to happen. And it felt like a safe way to not get hurt when things went wrong. Because I'd always learned that relationships don't last. Or if they do, they're unhealthy and toxic. And either way, I don't want to be a part of it. And you know what I mean? So my ego was playing out the demise of those relationships before they even got started. That's sabotage. And it's subconscious. Was I consciously doing that? No. It's just it's a coping mechanism. Justice came out in reverse again. It's so crazy. Spirit's really trying to come in with the Hierophant. And I just heard tickle your senses. All right, bear with me. I don't know what that means other than just like make you high on life, make you as high as this guy is, just laughing and feeling free and feeling excited and feeling boosted and lifted up by your emotions. This was in reverse. So I just feel like some of you guys just don't know that you're safe to feel your emotions, that you are strong enough. Sorry about the music. I keep changing. But yeah, the Queen of Cups is about, you know, feeling your emotions and letting them, like honoring your intuition, honoring yourself. Justice is trying to come in to make things right, but you have to make room, okay? And that's why I think that's why these came out together in reverse. This is you making room. This is you saying, I trust you, God. I trust you, higher self. I trust you, universe. You know, I trust my soul path. I trust that I'm safe here. Justice comes in to kind of bring all the things into balance that you've been waiting to come into balance. All right? Don't talk yourself out of what you've been working so hard to create in your life. Again, the analogy of a relationship. If you've been alone for a really long time and then someone comes into your life and you've had only failed relationships and all the people in your life have had only failed relationships, it's easy to just assume, put a stamp on it and say, yeah, that might be fun. And maybe it will be fun to date that person for a while, but eventually it will end and I'll be alone again. That's a defeatist attitude. That's not going to get you anywhere. You know, have the courage to dream. You know what? I also am being guided to talk about myself as a child. In my childhood, I was surrounded by toxicity. You know, my mom was going through a lot of fucked up shit from her childhood, and she didn't know how to be a parent. She was a mess, and we had nobody else around. So it was just like toxic mom, you know, and with respect, like we signed up for this together so that she could be toxic, so that I could learn all the lessons. Like, it's not an ego thing here by describing this. This is what really happened. And I don't harbor any resentment over it because I know I needed it. But I grew up in severe poverty, like between 0 and 6, I'd say. Life was real uninspiring, and I didn't live anywhere beautiful. There was nothing really for me to like attach to and start dreaming of. So I just went in here. I've had this really creative mind, this creative world that I could just escape to and start dreaming. And that's what I started doing. And I'm an artist, I'm a musician because I'm a dreamer, you know, and art and music took me out of it as well. They gave me a place to escape and dream of something better. And that is why I am who I am. And that's why I'm heading where I'm heading. And none of us will know where that is until I get there. But I know that it's somewhere beautiful because I've been dreaming of it since I was a little girl, like 4 or 5. I remember this. And we moved like every year for the first 7 or 8 years of my life. So I just have a lot of memories of being on the highway and watching these kind of depressing patches of desert pass me by. And I still found beauty. I still found things to dream for and dream of and dream into being. And we ended up moving to one of the most beautiful towns I've ever seen, even as an adult. And I honestly feel like I was part of bringing that into being by just dreaming of something beautiful. I know it sounds weird, but it's like, I feel like I brought that into our lives by being this little dream machine. And I'm the only person in my family that's quite like this. So dreaming gets you places, okay? Dreaming can change your life. Dreaming can change your world. Don't let yourself slip away into dreams of nightmares. And I'm not talking about when you're sleeping. I'm talking about when you're waking. Daydreaming is not a waste of time, okay? It's not. Don't get attached to the outcome, but daydream about your desired outcome. Daydream about, the happily ever after. What does that look like to you? And don't allow your ego to get in the way and say, that's not possible. Let your inner child take over, because your inner child is so beautiful and pure and really children believe anything is possible. I truly believe the only reason why I didn't end up, there's a lot of different ways my life could have ended up with the kind of life that I had. And the only reason why I think I made it this far with this kind of strength and this kind of resilience is because of my brain, my active imagination, my strength. It took me somewhere safer, that made me feel like I had a place, a refuge. All right, 2222 on my timer. Are you kidding? And I was just going to say, I know this is a long message and I'm going on and on, but I know I'm speaking to a couple of you, all right? I'm at least speaking to myself because my inner child feels seen right now. I honestly feel like I could cry. And I also just want to say that today is no ordinary day. I didn't know I was going to say that. I thought I was going to say this period of time is no ordinary period of time, but clearly today is no ordinary day. I don't feel ordinary. This reading is a million times longer because I don't feel ordinary at all. And there's something magical happening right now. And it's like, you are either going to be pressing the button go on this magic, or you're going to be pressing the button stop. And a lot of you guys are pressing the button stop because you really, really don't think that what is coming in is magical. But that depends on what you've been focused on. And have you been letting God in? Have you been facing your fears, but not staying stuck on them? Because there's a difference between looking at them, being honest about them, healing and purging those emotions, and getting stuck in the darkness of it. Don't do that. Don't do that. The quickest way to defeat yourself is to get stuck in the darkness and to feel like a victim to all the things that have happened to you and to carry them around. The thing is, I could feel really angry for the things I've been through. I was homeless at barely 15 because my mom just decided she didn't really want to be a parent anymore. And there's more details to the story, I'm sure, but and also I signed up for that. I signed up to be the kind of person that has been taking care of themselves since I was 4. And her, because she was sick. She was sick and suicidal for the first, I don't usually share details like this, but my siblings and I were taking care of my mom. I was 4 years old and I was the youngest. And my older brother was beating me up, and we had no adults around. We lived in the middle of nowhere, desert, tumbleweeds, piles of trash on the side of the road. I'm not even kidding. No paved roads. Really depressing scene. That's where I grew up. And somehow I found a way to empower myself, to empower others, to forgive her, to forgive myself, to forgive my whole life, and to recognize that she signed up for a really shitty reality too. So anyone that's had a really hard life because of their parents, just remember that this is all soul contract stuff we signed way before we got here. My mom signed up for one of the most horrifying childhoods I've ever even imagined, okay? So I've spent so much time like making space and accommodating her story that I didn't even really consider mine until recently. Now that I've considered mine and done some healing, I can consider hers and do some healing around that too, and recognize that she is a badass for signing up for that and trying to raise 4 kids alone with no money, no family, no support. She had nothing. I can't really blame her for how I turned, or for how things turned out. First of all, we signed up for it. Second of all, she really did the best she could, you know? And at the end of the day, I turned out pretty fucking amazing, considering all things considered. So I can't even point and say like she ruined my life. She didn't. If anything, she made me stronger. She made me better. And it's no excuse to go out there and treat people, you know, less than you know that you can. But it's also a reminder that there's so many more things than we are aware of happening, okay? Spirit is guiding every single thing. You're not, this is why I say you're not a victim. I wasn't a victim. Doesn't mean that I can't heal and nurture those parts of me that have been hurt, okay? They are real and they are hurting, and I am healing. But I'm not a victim just because I've been victimized. That's the difference. You know, it's like a badge of honor that people wear, the victim badge. And there's really nothing less attractive than someone wearing a victim badge, okay? It's like the quickest way to deter high vibration energy is to be a victim. High vibration energy is like, bye, see ya, because being a victim keeps you way down here. You know, I'm not defined by what I've been through, because I know that I needed every single thing that happened to me to get me here. And I can't hold on to anger or resentment or any of that, because I signed up for all of it. And so did you. And I know it's hard to hear, but it's true. Okay? So this was a really unconventional reading. I hope you got something out of it. I am going to pull one last card just to kind of see. Deep listening. Welcome home. I hope that you were able to receive that. Okay? A lot of us are being guided back home right now. We have to allow ourselves to be guided by God, by something higher. We have to allow ourselves to let justice in and find that celebration, okay? Find that sense of creativity and that spark, that, you know, something that will bring us to life, something that will connect us to our higher self and our inner child. If you've had the kind of life that I've had, and that was barely anything, seriously. I could write like several books about the crazy shit I've been through. If you've had a life like that, do the healing, okay? Don't hold resentment in your heart. Don't hold resentment in your heart toward the people that have put you through hell, okay? Because recognize that your soul signed up for this. And if anything, you have no one to blame but your soul, okay? You are the magician. You are the one calling the shots. You get to decide what happens now. Are you going to carry that old story with you like a dead body behind you in a bag, just dragging it up and down the stairs, never letting it go? Or are you going to heal and move on and stop playing a victim? And for those of you that haven't been playing the victim but have been through a lot, just know that you're not alone in that. Please recognize that you did sign up for it, okay? Please recognize that this next phase is only as powerful as you allow it to be. And a lot of us are going to be stepping into major financial level ups. Part of your job is to ask for what you want right now. It's kind of like if you have a job for 20 years and you never ask for a raise. I'm probably not going to give you one. They're like, cool, you know, Fred's cool, just working for the same pay rate, so we'll just keep him there. Spirit wants you to ask for a raise. Spirit wants you to ask for what you want. Spirit wants you to prove, you know, how much you believe in yourself by asking for what you desire and trusting that it will come. You don't have to push or force. You don't have to manipulate. All you have to do is ask and show up for the assignment. Spirit will test you. When you ask for things, it's like, okay, you want a level up? Are you leveled up in this area and this area? Like, are you ready? Have you emptied your cup of all the things that are blocking your blessings from coming in? Because if you have a full cup of coffee and someone offers you tea, you're like, sure. You're like, I'm not going to just pour. There's nowhere to pour the tea, first of all. And if I did pour it, it'd be disgusting. Do you know what I mean? You have to empty your cup first. Empty it of all those emotions. Tell your story. Get on YouTube and share your story. Share it in a journal, write a story in a book, you know, and maybe you print it one day, maybe you don't, but just like get it out of you is my point. I could have talked a lot longer about my life, and maybe I will someday, but for now, I hope it inspired you. I hope it made sense, because I've been talking for 30 minutes. I have no idea what I just said, but I love you. Okay, if you want to join my new tarot channel, Sacred Flame Tarot, it's for new earth warriors, twin flames, and anyone that identifies with wanting to follow their soul path instead of the status quo. Search Sacred Flame Tarot on YouTube if you want a private reading, mentorship, you know, inner child healing, energy cleansing, self-love coaching. Please consider working with me. My website is sacredmuseproject.com. All right, I love you. Keep going. You're not alone.